If you can talk yourself out of something, you can talk yourself into something. So it's not that it's not scary. It's not that you don't have fear.
Hello, you are listening to the Late Bloomer Living podcast. I'm Yvonne Marchese, your host, and I'm so happy you're here. I created this podcast to give you inspiration and let you know you're not alone in feeling stuck in midlife. I also invite you to join the Age Agitators Club for women, where we come together monthly to hatch our plans for making waves as we age. Being part of this community for women will remind you on a regular basis that you're not too old, and it's never too late to do that thing you've been thinking about. You can find more information at latebloomerliving.com/community, and I hope to see you there. Hello, my friend. Have you ever wanted to take a leap, pick up a new hobby, start a business, do something to shake things up, but felt held back by the fear of embarrassment or failure? I'm raising my hand right now because I've been there so many times. You are not alone. And this episode is going to be all about how to push past that fear. I'm so thrilled to welcome back Rachel Strabley. It's her second time on the podcast. She was with me way back on episode 39. Rachel's an award-winning certified consulting hypnotist who's here to help us explore how to boost our confidence and embrace being a beginner at any age. The first time Rachel was with us, we talked about her journey to becoming a hypnotist and how it helped her transform her own midlife funk. And now she's back to share her insights on building a growth mindset, releasing the fear that keeps us stuck. We're also going to catch up on how her business has grown since we last spoke and what she's learned along the way. So if you're ready to build confidence, take more chances, discover what's possible when you let go of fear, this episode is for you. You're in the right place. So without further ado, here's Rachel Strabley. Rachel, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh my goodness. It's been a while.
It has. 5
So
years.
you have been a busy lady. I watch I watch you on the socials and watch your stuff, and you have been speaking, you've been hosting events, you've been doing events at, what was it, at Yale? What was the thing that you did at Yale for the physical therapy practice?
Yes, so I went in and worked with the team on stress management and also helping them to stay calm with patients who don't follow through with what they're told
Ooh,
to do.
ooh,
So it was
yeah.
really effective and a great experience for me also.
So great, so
Yeah.
great. So my goodness, you and I feel like you and I have been on a trajectory together, kind of timing wise, haven't we?
We've been growing together. Yeah.
We have, because you started your hypnotherapy practice kind of close to the same time that I started the podcast, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's the word we all hear now is I started during COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, what have you learned about yourself in going down this road? Let me just start right away.
About myself, goodness.
Yeah.
Um, uh, well, I just love what I do now. I love hypnosis. I love everything that it can alleviate, accomplish. It basically, if there's a challenge, there's a hypnosis for it. And I've just loved meeting new people, clients, and I really enjoy speaking in groups, which is great. And learning. I'm constantly learning along the way. I go to conferences, I read the books. I just have really invested myself, my time, energy, money into just knowing more and more. And I just love everything about it.
I love that. I think the last time we talked, you mentioned your love of being, or your tendency towards being, a lifelong learner. And I'm hearing
Yes,
that again.
yes.
Very
But
cool.
what I'm finding is that this topic I have not lost interest in. And going back to the last podcast, I think I shared that I've probably had eight ideas and ran with them, and this one has stuck. So being a consulting hypnotist is my thing, and
Yeah.
yeah, I
What's
really
been the biggest surprise for you in having a business like this?
well, I'm always surprised at my client's success. Always. I don't go into it with the feeling that, oh, you're gonna become this brand new person. I go into it with a compassion, listening, customizing the sessions for each client. And the transformation still amazes me.
Do you tend to work with midlife, older people, men, women?
So it goes in waves. It's really interesting
Uh-huh.
because, when I first started out, I was mostly working with female entrepreneurs, which was wonderful. I still work with female entrepreneurs. However, this past year, I've worked with men and men with depression.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it came in waves at the beginning of the year, public speaking. The people came to me to improve their confidence in public speaking.
Fascinating. I just spoke to I had a guest that I interviewed yesterday. She's starting a new podcast. She's on a mission, but she has some blocks around visibility and being visible. And so
Mhm.
she's been going to a hypnotist and has been
Oh,
having
wonderful.
breakthroughs in that area. So just
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah. How how does hypnotherapy work to help somebody get through a block like that? Like public speaking, that's a fear for a lot of people.
Yes. Yeah. So I just want to say one thing so I don't get into trouble. In Connecticut, I'm not
Mm.
allowed to call myself a hypnotherapist.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm a consulting hypnotist
Okay.
and I give hypnosis. So
Okay.
not to call
Okay.
you out, but I don't want to get
No, I have no
in
idea.
trouble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So um, now I forgot what the question was. Oh,
The-
public speaking. How do I get people ready?
yeah.
So first of all, it's definitely a boosting confidence, and then I go back to I allow them to release limiting beliefs. I allow them to release anything that's holding them back while they're in hypnosis. So they're in hypnosis, and I'm guiding them. Allow your subconscious mind to release all that's holding you back. Release what's stopping you from presenting yourself publicly, speaking. There's a lot more to it, obviously. Boosting their confidence so that they feel comfortable being seen,
Hmm.
addressing any issues that come up around that, and if need be, go back to the time and place when they were younger, earlier than 7 years old, to address an incident that may have happened, causing
Mm.
them to now feel like they cannot, speak. And if we go back to the time and place, you address your younger self from your adult self, and you can let them know that you survived. Everything's okay now. You
Oh.
can go ahead and be who you want to be, say what you want to say. Those, the people in the audience, they weren't laughing at you, they were laughing with you, whatever their memory is.
Yeah, there can be any number of things that get somebody blocked from being able to speak, right?
Exactly. And the great thing is that it usually only takes about 3 sessions.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking back to one of my clients recently who was afraid to speak on Zoom if there were more than two people
Mm-hmm.
on the call.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went on to present in front of a room of men. As women, sometimes that's intimidating. And she went on to do that after only 3 seconds.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I've had professionals come through who have been on stage, an opera singer who had been on stage and toured and came to me because she'd taken a break and just needed her voice back. And also a gentleman who had been giving presentations throughout his career, all of a sudden was stuck.
So
And
he'd been doing it and then hit a block.
exactly. So
Oh,
we work
wow.
together. Yeah. So whether sometimes there's a trigger
Yeah.
and it just kind of stops you in your tracks.
Yeah. One of the main things I wanted to talk to you about is this idea of the beginner's mindset. There's plenty of things that I want to do that I completely hold myself back from doing. And I have those limiting thoughts and I have a closed mindset about that thing. What's your advice for people with that, with a block, with something that they really want?
Well, I mean, I'm a big believer in a growth mindset. So even if it's one tiny step, you're growing. The mind is super powerful outside of hypnosis, even, right? If you can tell yourself something negative, which we all do, then there's no reason why you can't also tell yourself something positive.
But how do you do it without slapping a positive spin on? You see
Oh
where I'm going?
no. If you're
Right.
coming to me and you're stuck and you want to try something and you're stuck, I'm going to use hypnosis to get you out of it.
Yeah.
And the way hypnosis works is if you say something to me like, I really want to go skydiving, but it's scary. But it's going to be a thrill, but it's scary. So I want to sign up, but I can't. If you can talk yourself out of something, you can talk yourself into something. So it's not that it's not scary. It's not that you don't have a fear. You can accept those. And I'm not saying be positive all the time, be happy, that's the toxic positivity.
Right.
What I'm saying is that if you can say, I want to go skydiving, but I'm too scared, you can say, I want to go skydiving. It is scary. However, I think I can do it. It is scary, and I want to do it.
Love that.
Does that answer?
It, it it does
Very
for me. Hopefully for
simply,
somebody
right?
listening, they get that too, because, you know, yeah, that I totally hear the difference between I want to, but
Yes,
and then I want to, and yes, it is scary, and I can still do it anyway. Like
exactly.
it's like a yes and instead of a yes but kind of
Exactly. Yeah.
thing.
And
Yeah.
talking yourself into something rather than out of it, well, let's start really simple, right? Um, oh, I don't want to get out of bed this morning. Last night I went to bed saying, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to work out. And then the morning comes like, oh, it's so warm. I don't want to get out of bed. What do
Yeah.
I really need to work out? I can work out tomorrow. Maybe I'll work out later in the day. But if you can talk yourself out of it,
Hmm.
you can also wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I said I was going to get up early and do a workout. I can talk myself out of it, or I can talk myself into it. I'm going to feel so good after I work out. I'm going to have more energy after I work out. I'm going to work out now because I want to feel good and I want that energy.
And in the hypnosis process,
Mm.
if somebody's experiencing that block with just getting out of bed in the morning to work out, are those the kinds of things that you'll do in the hypnosis session, is to give them the access to that new language? Or
So yes, the new language I'll tell them outside of the hypnosis session.
uh-huh.
What I want to know is how do they want to feel? And then I'll put
Mm.
that language, their language, into the hypnosis session. How do you want
Mm.
to feel? And then I'll tell them that they're feeling that way,
Yeah.
right? And we're rewiring the neural pathways into thinking differently, into waking up, feeling awake, strong, ready.
Can you talk about why feelings are important for this process? I have ideas about that myself, but you just sparked my curiosity with that.
So the subconscious mind holds on to all of your emotions. So however you felt in any situation is stored within in the subconscious mind.
Hmm.
So we want to go with the feelings so that the subconscious mind receives how it feels. And we can also, in hypnosis, bring up that feeling and make it as just encompassing your whole body, your mind, your body, bring up the feeling, and then hold that feeling there so that the mind knows how it feels to do something.
So it becomes that body experience.
Yeah,
I've heard that the brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a imagined experience.
this is true. And also, some experiences that you feel in the body are the same for different things. Anxiety, right? Nervous. How do you
Hmm.
feel when you're nervous? Your heart starts pounding, you sweat a little, you might shake. How do you feel when you're excited? Your heart starts pounding, might sweat a little, your body shakes,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
It's the same. So if somebody's saying to me, "Oh, I'm too nervous," I say, "Well, tell yourself you're excited instead."
Yeah, I have heard that before. And when I remember to do it, it totally works.
You probably heard it from me. I mean,
Oh my
words
goodness.
matter. I have like on my Instagram, I did a whole series of words matter, such as, "Oh, I can't afford it." Is
Oh
saying I
yeah.
can't afford it, say it's not a priority right now,
Mm-hmm.
or it's not within my spending plan rather than a budget. Just
Oh, I like
changing,
that.
yeah, just
Yeah.
changing different words. It rewires your brain, retrains your brain. You're going to catch yourself out.
Yeah.
And eventually it's just going to be something that you say to yourself.
Yeah. Love it. What else do you think somebody needs to know about how hypnosis can help them bust through a block?
So, oh, since we've talked last over the last 5 years, I've done more training and learned new things. And there are so many different types of hypnosis, ways to do hypnosis. And what I've been using is an emotional detox, which my clients love. And it enables them to get rid of all the guilt, shame, fear, pain, anger, pressure, and frustration that has held them back their whole lives. And we do this, a couple of times, depending on how many sessions a person needs. Every challenge needs a different number of sessions,
That
right?
makes sense. Yeah.
The 3 sessions is the minimum that I do. And things like stress release, public speaking, building your confidence, easily 3 sessions, you're good to go. But there are some deeper, deeper heart hurts and, challenges and traumas that will take more sessions. But I do this emotional detox with my clients, and they just feel so much lighter without reliving any of the trauma from their past. It can be an emotional experience, even though they don't know what they're releasing. They know it's leaving their body and it's leaving their
Hmm.
mind.
Hmm.
And then there's the suggestions that I give to help them to move forward, always in a positive frame, right? Um, and then the boost of confidence. Everyone gets a boost of confidence, whether they think they need it or not.
Yeah.
And so all of these things add up. Oh, and then, regress to cause I do as needed as well.
Wait a
Um,
minute. Talk about that more because I'm not sure I
so
understood that.
yeah, the regress to cause is basically taking you back to the time and place where you felt
And what's the word again? Regress to.
regress to cause.
Oh, regress
So
to the cause of what it
exactly.
was. Okay, I'm
Yes.
catching on here.
Some
Uh-huh.
people call it age regression.
Mhm.
And so with all of these things combined, and I'm very intuitive. So I kind of follow along with what my client is telling me and what I feel that they're needing to hear. I put it all in to the sessions and just kind of run with it. Where do they need to go next? What do they need to address next? Is the emotional detox? Do we need to do that again? Do they need more confidence building? Do they need to go back and talk to their inner child? Do they need to talk to a parent? So all of these things, I just kind of go with the flow of what I'm gaining from my clients to
Yeah.
know what we need to do next.
Do people end up, once they have some sort of a breakthrough, do you find that it's something that sticks, or do they need to come back occasionally, get tune-ups?
I don't have many repeat clients, so it typically sticks.
Uh-huh.
The tune-ups are my weight release clients.
Uh-huh.
And there's a word change for you. Instead of weight loss, weight release. Because
Mm.
once you've released it, you don't want to find it again. Right?
Mm.
So my weight release clients want a tune-up if they're going through the holiday season or if they're going on a cruise or a vacation, they tend to come back for a tune-up before or after if they feel like they kind of lost their way a little.
Yeah.
I my weight release clients, it's really cool because if I see them before Thanksgiving and Christmas, if they start with me before, they notice a huge difference in the holidays. They're not deprived. They can eat whatever they want. They just eat when they're hungry and stop eating when they're full. And that sounds simple, right? But it's not for a lot
It
of
sounds simple, right?
it sounds simple.
Especially at the holidays, because stuff's in front of you constantly.
When the brain feels like it can't have something, it's focusing on what it can't have.
Right.
So I'm telling my clients, you can have it.
Yeah.
You can have it. Just eat when hungry, stop eating when you're full. And you can practice that on your own, but with hypnosis, it really sticks in the mind. And also, my weight release clients, I focus on self love, self compassion, self appreciation, just so they start to appreciate themselves, love themselves. Because if they're hating on their bodies and doing all the things because they hate their bodies, it's not going to stick. So
Yeah.
first we work on the mindset, and then we work on the motivation to get moving, and then we do tune-ups around the holidays and vacations.
Must be really gratifying to work with people and see them have success. Is there anything in particular that is something that keeps you going because you worked with that one person and that is like a guy, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying, right? Like every
I
now and again,
do.
yeah,
I
okay.
do. And as I'm thinking about her, my whole body just kind of has
I
this
could see it on your face when I
sensation.
asked you the
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
I, I talk about this person all the time because it is such an amazing transformation. 25 years of suffering with bulimia
Mm,
and telling one person, a doctor, who made her feel so small
mm,
that she never told anybody again until she met me. And we sat down and she's like, "Can you help me?" And I honestly, I had not worked with anybody with bulimia before, but I said yes because I'm not going to do any harm,
hmm.
right? I'm going to help this person feel good about herself. That is my goal, or was my goal. And honestly, it is amazing that after 6 sessions, only 6 sessions, it went away just like miraculously. And if you can think about 25 years, your body is automatically doing what you've trained it to do, which is
Hmm.
get rid of the food. So she wasn't even trying to get rid of the food at that point. She was eating it and then it was just coming back up. And only after only 6 sessions, it just went away. And she was able to go on vacations with her girlfriends, which she's never been able to do before.
Wow.
She's able to eat foods that she didn't think she could eat. It like my eyes are tearing up, my body is goosebumps just thinking about her and how her life has completely changed.
Wow. Yeah.
It's and she that was a year and a half ago, but it is the most amazing story that I'm gonna have be able to share.
That's
Or
the kind of thing that'll keep you going.
yes, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
But from an entrepreneur standpoint, one of my favorite entrepreneur clients, she grew her business, her financials by 350% working with me,
Holy
which
cannoli.
is huge.
Uh-huh.
And I
Yeah.
loved hearing that too. So what I love about this path I've chosen is the different people coming through, and no one two clients are the same, right?
Hmm.
And I love that. And I'm not giving the same sessions either. Everything is customized. So it's fun for me. I love to research. I love to create the sessions. So that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, the
Is
variety.
the variety. Thank you.
I
King of
get
the
that
room.
totally. It's similar for me when I do photo sessions when, some photo sessions feel like rehash. It's very basic. Like, there's just like, okay, we're ticking a box here for a corporate headshot. Those feel kind of like,
Right.
okay. But still, even then, the connection with the person on the other side of my camera, making that connection with them, getting them to relax, finding that special moment with them that is the connection moment that gets them to be comfortable in front of a camera. And then, when I get to get a little more creative with sessions, then it's like, then it's like crazy play. And doing the
Yeah.
podcast too. Every conversation with somebody is, I totally get that. Yeah.
Unique.
When you talk about so each session is designed for that person. Do you have like a consultation call before like the first actual session so that
Oh,
you
yeah.
can design that? What's your intake process like?
Yeah, so the consultation call is complimentary. It's to see if hypnosis is right for you.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is, then you schedule your sessions, and then I send you an intake form which asks many questions. Sometimes it's a repeat of what we've talked about on the call,
Mm-hmm.
or it might be the intake form is the same for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The consultation is different, right?
Yeah.
And
Is
from
hypnosis, when you say would that you help them figure out if hypnosis is for them, are there people for whom hypnosis is not something to do, or is it a matter of matching up with you? Like for me, I'm not everybody's perfect photographer. I'm not going to be their solution for this moment in time, maybe further down the line, right? Or I'm just not their style or whatever. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, so hypnosis is not right for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I take clients who are 100% committed to making a change. So if they are humming and hawing and being like, oh, well, and this and that, I'll say, okay, you're not ready. It's not going to work.
Mm,
Come back when you are 100% ready. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't, because I'm not doing the work, they are.
mm-hmm.
So it's not a quick fix. If you come to me, I think I should quit smoking. I'll say, you're not ready. Come back to me when you
Mm,
are. If they say, my wife wants me to quit, my husband wants me to quit, I'm not going to work with them because it's not going to work. And then my name is out there as somebody whose hypnosis doesn't work,
mm-hmm.
right? Um, and the same with a weight release client. I do it very gently. I'm very compassionate. And if you want to release the weight, we're going to do it with self love. I'm not going to give you a diet that's restricting all the things
Mm-hmm.
and then give you a hypnosis that is like, you will never eat this again. You'll never eat that again. No, I'm going to do it very gently and work with your mind and the body that you have. And in time, you will release the weight, but it's not a quick fix.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're getting on a call with me for, and I can sense that, then I'll say, I'm sorry, you know, you're not ready, but please do come back when you are.
Was
We'll
that
have
hard
to,
for you in the beginning to figure out whether or not somebody was ready, or has that been something that you've been pretty good at since the beginning?
I mean, I want to help everybody, right? That's just who I am.
Hmm.
And so even now I'll make the mistake. You know, I'm learning along the way always.
Right.
So I can tell, but sometimes I fight myself on it, going, but they
Yeah.
really need help, and this can help them.
Yeah.
So, but when I find myself forcing it, I now know, right, they're not ready. So,
Yeah. Any last thoughts for anybody before we say goodbye today?
yeah, maybe I can just share a little self-hypnosis trick. Can I
Okay.
do that?
Yeah.
All you need to do is close your eyes and take some deep breaths. Count down from 10 to 1. And in between the countdown, just add in an affirmation of how you want to feel. Keep it very simple.
Of an
Um,
affirmation of how you want to feel. Can you give an example or two of,
of course, yes. So let's say you are going to public speak or you're about to start your podcast and you're new to it. You can just be like, 10, I speak clearly and I have something valuable to say. And you just repeat it to 1.
okay, yeah.
That was just off the top of my head. I
Yeah,
speak,
because I like that because that's got a specific, like something's right around the corner and I gotta get, I'm nervous or I'm
exactly.
excited.
If you have trouble sleeping, you do the
Uh-huh.
countdown and you say, I am cozy, I am comfortable, I am sleeping.
Mm.
Very simple. Maybe you do the countdown and you get to 1 and you start over if,
Hmm.
if sleeping is a problem for you. I use this now and I don't even get to 1. So I know it works.
I like it. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna try that. I usually don't have trouble falling asleep, but um, I usually end up waking up halfway through the night to go to the bathroom, and then the mind starts going,
Well, I'm glad you said that because did you know you can train yourself not to get up and go to the bathroom?
would be
Again,
fantastic.
I've done it myself, so I know it works. So when you wake up, you tell yourself, this is time for sleeping. And then you do the countdown. You say, this is my sleeping time. I can use the restroom when I wake up. This is my
Hmm.
sleeping time. And then you do the countdown. I used to wake up at 3 a.m. every night to use the,
Hmm. Hmm.
do not anymore.
Okay. Did
Not
you
anymore.
did you like did you adjust your water intake or anything before
Nope,
bed or anything like
nope.
that? Nothing,
Just what
nothing.
I told myself when I woke
Ah, the power of the
up.
mind.
Of the mind.
Oh my goodness, that's an amazing example. Thank you. I'm gonna try that. Well, my goodness, how can people find you?
You can email me, Rachel at hypnosiswithrachel.com. My
Great.
YouTube, Hypnosis with Rachel. Keep it very simple.
Hmm.
Somebody stole my Instagram about a year ago. So now I'm hypnosis with underscore Rachel.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming back and
Thank you.
hanging out with us here today. If anybody wants to get in touch with Rachel, I'm going to have links where you can find her in the show notes.
And I
So,
love to hear questions, your thoughts. You know, I'm not a salesperson, I promise you that. But I do love to hear from people. So if they do have questions, just email me.
all right, there you go. You've got her email, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Well, there you have it. Rachel shared some powerful insights today, and I hope you're walking away with a fresh perspective on how much control you actually have over your mindset. Here are some of the 3 key things that I took away from this today. The reminder that fear and excitement feel the same in the body. So the next time you're nervous, try telling yourself, I'm excited. and see how that shifts your energy, or at least the way you're thinking about it. The next thing that really struck me is the idea that you can talk yourself into or out of anything. So if you catch yourself saying, I can't do this, try flipping it to, this is scary and I can do it anyway. And lastly, words matter. The way that you frame things with your words shapes your experience, and little subtle small shifts. I love the example of her saying weight release instead of weight loss, or it's not a priority right now instead of I can't afford it. Wow, that can really change the way you think and feel. So here's a little challenge for you. I'm gonna jump in on this with you, okay? Pick one thing that you've been hesitating to do, big or small, and reframe your self-talk about it. Maybe it's trying a new activity, or speaking up in a meeting, or reaching out to somebody. Whatever it is, choose your words carefully. See what happens when you lean into possibility instead of doubt. I'd love to hear how it goes. You can reach out to me anytime. Send me an email to latebloomerliving@gmail.com. And until next time, keep taking those baby steps, baby. They add up in ways you can't even imagine yet. And I'll have links to Rachel in the show notes for you. So, yeah, I'll see you next week. Bloom like you mean it.